Hi there. My name is Kay Moon, and I am a Western astrologer and Twin Flame channel. And this is an all signs reading for the Cancer new moon taking place on July 5th, 6:57 p.m. If you happen to be on the eastern seaboard of the United States, definitely check a time zone converter for your local time. This Cancer new moon had a part one to it. This update had a part one to it that was published just a couple of days before this that gave you in depth and detailed insight into what this new moon represents. So, if you'd like to have a listen to that and then come back and listen to this for your sun, moon, and rising and that of anyone you love or connected to, it may help you integrate the energy of the new moon and share more about how to work with it before we get into the next full moon, Capricorn full moon on July 21st. At the end of that full and detailed part one, you will also find that there is a first look segment that I do to bring in how the energy evolves from this Cancer new moon into the Capricorn full moon 2 weeks from now. So if you're curious about how it all fits together, definitely have a listen to that. Come back and listen to this. If you're new here, welcome. I love newbies. Definitely say hey in the comments. Definitely give the video a thumbs up if you hear something that resonates. And if you need a reading, my info is in the description box below. kmoonastro.com. You can book a 30-minute or a 1 hour reading so we can break down how this energy may impact you and where things go in the remainder of 2024 for you. This Cancer new moon is showing up in a sextile. So let me just point it out over here. Here's our new moon. We've got a sextile to Mars, all about motivation and ambition and drive. We've got a trine to Saturn, creating some stability, boundaries, and groundedness. We have got a square to the transiting nodal axis, making this consequential in the ways in which the decisions we make now can have long lasting impacts. We've also got an opposition here to Ceres, who is closing out a cycle in our lives, and a sextile to Juno, who wants to participate through partnership, and a trine to Pallas, who's offering up quite a bit of self protective energy when it comes to our deep, deep feelings and deep emotions. As a very watery new moon, we've got a lot of water placements here in the chart. Emotions may run high at this particular lunation. We know that new moons do represent new beginnings. This new beginning is coming with a lot of emotional investment and talks about taking action based on our true emotions, those emotions that are undeniable for us. This new moon offers a new emotional pathway forward for all of us, a lot of emotional commitment and investment. For some, this is even going to be a new home or new configurations around your family dynamics. And you may also find that there is a lot of emotional receptivity for you during this new moon. So let's go ahead and take a look at it from the perspective of each sign. And again, if you'd like some more detailed intel about this new moon, definitely have a listen to the Lightworker Energy Update that provided tons of details about how each one of those planets influence this new moon. If you happen to be an Aries or an Aries rising, this new moon takes place in an area of the sky that has to do with your home and family, whether it's the place you love or the people you come from. This new moon is opening up a new chapter that is allowing you to leave behind the impact the past may have had on you so that you can access a new beginning that's going to allow you to be fully yourself with the transiting North Node in Aries. That's the direction of growth. This new moon may mark a period where there is significant karmic release of family, generational patterns, or a home that you have outgrown. If there has been any using work to avoid what's going on at home or to compensate for what's going on at home, because we do see both Ceres and Pholus up here in the sector that deals with your career, series closing cycles, full is dealing with toxicity. So if work has become an outlet because home has just not felt so awesome, you're going to start to see the efficacy of that pattern collapse in this energy so that you are called to really deal with the emotional groundwork that needs to be shifted on the home front. And this is ultimately to help you start living a life where you can feel truly at home in the world. Now, for some of you, this will also be an indicative of a change in your family structure where you're gaining in laws or a mother in law or a new pathway with the women legacy figures in your generational line. Okay. Now, where it comes to love, Aries, you'll find that this new moon offers up the opportunity for new love that can literally walk right through your front door or a place where you feel at home. It's also a season where if you're putting down family and generational pains, problems of the past, it's going to open the door for new love to come in rather quickly as you step into valuing yourself and your uniqueness with Mars and Uranus together here in the position that represents your self-worth and self-esteem. This is one of the biggest opportunities. If you've had any problems that you felt like you inherited in the love department, you feel like your family story in love is cursed, or it's been something you just don't want your family's marriage stories to continue to be your story in love, this particular new moon in Aries really is going to give you an opportunity to liberate yourself and set yourself free. Aries, you've got this. Let's go to Taurus now. And Taurus, you've got a Taurus sun, moon, or rising. Welcome. In Aries, if you need a little bit of help with that, you can always book a reading with me over at kmoonastro.com. Would be happy to read with you. Taurus, this new moon takes place in a location that is affiliated with communication for you. And you'll see that new moon energy here. It's affiliated also with consciousness, siblings, cousins, and neighbors. And there's this extraordinary opportunity to step into an emotional awareness when it comes to who you are and what you want in life. If there's been any uncertainty about what you want next or how you feel about certain things going on in your life, this is where you start to get the emotional clarity that has things click and has you clear about what your next step is. You may find that there is potentially some new soul family level connections that show up at this new moon, and at the very least, some new neighbors that will be worth getting to know. There could also be some travel, perhaps a weekend getaway or a trip to some place nearby or some place that feels like a home away from home for you. Taurus, this new moon will help you release belief systems that have not serviced you and may have substantiated some wishful thinking out here with Ceres and Pholus opposing the new moon. This is ultimately going to help you with a clean out of your subconscious mind so that you can stand more in your personal authenticity and uniqueness for your life and who you are without any of the shoulds that may have plagued you in the past about being a good person, a good daughter, a good son, a good mother. This is where you start to get the opportunity to see who you are and step into that with gusto. This is really exciting and will ultimately help you accomplish, Taurus, a lot more of your dreams. Now, where it comes to love, Taurus, this new moon will open up a chance for you to get introduced to someone, potentially through siblings, cousins, or neighbors. There's a huge potential for that at this particular time. You may also find that you're one of the groups of people who could meet someone at work at this time. And it could be slightly inconvenient as there does seem to be a lot going on in the work sector around change. Know that if there is someone that you're meeting through the work sector and there is a lot of things up in the air around where you're working, what you're doing for work, what the role is going to be, understand that this is all working out to your benefit. If for some reason there's like a no fraternizing policy at your job, but you have met someone at work, you're going to see that the change in roles and positions or even companies is aligned so that you have the opportunity to take this love further. This is also going to allow you to shift your thinking about love. And if there's anything that you have thought that has held you back, again, shedding a lot of shoulds, Taurus. If you know there's been a closeness to love in your life, despite the fact that you really want it, at this new moon, you're going to find that you have the experience to get some perspective that'll allow you to begin to experience real love in real life. Taurus, for those of you already in a connection, this new moon offers a renewal and deepening of the emotional bond through sharing, communication, and intimacy that you may never have shared before. There's a real opportunity to get closer and real with someone else that may feel special. So be sure to take advantage of that opportunity. Okay, Gemini and Gemini rising. Let's have a look at this Cancer new moon for you. Gemini, this new moon is taking place in a location in the sky that has to do with money, the money you earn and the money you spend, as well as your self esteem. In this location, the new moon is going to help you start a new financial maintenance routine, may help you ask for a raise, or help you see the importance of investing in yourself. You're going to be able to see your emotional value to those around you with this new moon and really understand the value of your own emotions and the way that they guide you in this energy. Gemini, this new moon will also help you see if it's time to let go of a place of work or a way of working if it does not serve who you are or see the value in what you bring to the table. This is where it's going to be clear. It is time to let it go if it doesn't already, if this new moon isn't already releasing you. The thing to understand, if there is any work related closure at this new moon, it's a function of it being time for you to express more of who you really are and your value in the world. Trust me, the world has been waiting for you. Gemini, in the love department, this new moon puts you a bit in the spotlight and may even have you feeling overwhelmed by some of the attention you're getting from the people around you. To be honest, this does tend to continue for about a year because Jupiter is in your sign. This will be a season where Gemini, your energy is front and center and in demand among your social circle, but also your professional world. And this can totally give a boost to your love life. You You may find, however, that if you are feeling a little overwhelmed by it or just not ready for love, this new moon is a great time to pour into yourself and build yourself up and indulge in some self-care and some self-love. In doing that, the ironic thing is you're actually going to call even more attention to yourself and make yourself even more magnetic. So if you're looking for love with this energy, you're most likely going to find it through friends and familiars and when you're pampering yourself. If you're in a committed relationship already, this is where you may find you need some solo time to nourish yourself. You may even find that your partner recognizes this and encourages or even suggests you to give yourself more of what you need or share something special with you to encourage your self-care. Beautiful energy for you, Gemini. Enjoy the rest of this new moon period. Cancer and Cancer rising. Let's take a look here. Happy birthday, Cancer. This is your annual new moon, your personal lunar new year, which sets the tone for a new emotional journey for you. With Venus in your sign, it really is all about you, Cancer. And you may have been feeling particularly magnetic over the last couple of weeks as Venus has been crossing over your sun. As this unfolds, typically when Venus runs through the first house, for those of you who are the Cancer rising, or aligns with your sun. For those of you who are the Cancer sun, this tends to be a period of time every year where things are just drawn to you. It's like you're on a stage under the spotlight and everyone is cheering your name. This new moon will allow you to come into greater clarity as you start your lunar new year. Clarity specifically about your needs, your desires, and your identity. And because this is so focused on emotional investment and commitment, it will be required that you figure out clear answers to the question, what do I want? Because Uranus and Mars can bring it with just a little bit of action at this time. And this position in the sky, which deals with wish fulfillment, typically with this kind of energy, all you need to do is name it and take a little bit of action to claim it. Mars and Uranus will bring it in no time flat. Cancer, happy birthday. And if you need any support with this particular new moon, or you want to know where life is going from here in this next segment, definitely book with me over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. Leo and Leo rising. This new moon for you takes place in a location in the sky that illuminates the machinations of your subconscious mind. There may be a few uncomfortable truths here about the workings of your shadow when it comes to feeling emotionally vulnerable or powerless, given the way we have Ceres and Bolus in opposition to this new moon in the sign that deals with day to day living and power dynamics in your life. There will be clarity here that you cannot unsee about what in your process can be upleveled to be a better communicator or just treat yourself and other people better when you're experiencing strong emotion. Leo, this new moon may also see you coming into some clarity about what needs to change in the world of work as a result of feeling like the power dynamics or office politics of the work environment are just no longer working for you. There may be a sense of closure with either an employee or a boss, someone who works over or under you, or something else, someone else you've employed to help support your well-being, a doctor, a therapist, personal trainer, coach, housekeeper, etc. If this is the case, know that it was indeed time for the parting of ways at this new moon, and that this new moon is going to open up a pathway for a much better match to unfold in the fullness of time. Leo, where it comes to love, this particular new moon will create an opportunity to find love a bit randomly and even impulsively at work, believe it or not. If passions have been building for some time, this new moon and the full moon coming in a couple weeks' time may have them boil over into a passionate action. This might take you by surprise and could include some level of secrecy as well. For those already in a connection that doesn't have the conflicts of work or secrecy, you may find at this time the relationship is nearing a significant breaking point for change that can help it either go to the next level or set you free so you can find a relationship that will go to the next level. All in all, Leo, it is time. It is a time of change, transition, and transformation in connection for you. And it may seem like it has come out of nowhere. You can trust your intuition at this new moon and all of the guidance it is giving you about where you're meant to be. You will be better than fine. Okay, if you need any help with that, you can always find me over at kmoonastro.com. Links below this video. Virgo and Virgo rising this new moon happens to be in a place in the sky that has to do with friendships, colleagues, and hopes, wishes, and dreams fulfilled. If anyone is likely to meet new friends at this lunation, Virgo, it's you. In particular, new friends that might be women or mothers. Virgo, this new moon might also see the fulfillment of some dreams when it comes to family or to love as well. After a long season of very hard work, this seems to be your season of fulfillment, Virgo. Whether you've been working to dissolve a partnership with Saturn in the position it's in the love sector in the sky, or working to solidify one with Saturn in that position. Virgo, this new moon seems to have you at or near the finish line when it comes to crossing over into your new life. There is some heightened intuition going on here with Mercury in the position it's in. It seems to represent the subconscious mind there. And Jupiter in the position he is in over here in your career sector has started a 1 year season of helping you get to the next level in your career with all eyes on you and even some added responsibility. If you got a promotion in name only, not to worry. At some point in the fall, it does look like the money that goes with your elevated position arrives. And if you're taking on a business partnership at this time, it does look like it has some real longevity and groundedness to it. Virgo, to go deeper on the subject of love, though, there is some sense of love needing some of your honest discipline and focus. Where your love life has felt like it's out of alignment with who you really are, you may find this season brings about some closures. But where it is in alignment with who you really are, you will find this season opens up the chance to take commitment deeper. And it does seem like, on some level, there is a sense of intuitive guidedness about it, where you may feel an urge that just feels right. The movement of Juno in your particular sign here, she deals with partnership and marriage, heightens the focus on you and what's the truth of what you want and need in a partnership. It is also focused on what you can give in all honesty in a partnership. This energy reads like bringing a building up to code, but instead of a building, it's your love life. Bringing it up to meet the standards of who you are now and what you want now and where you want to go and love now. So if you're with someone, you may find that in conversations over the coming weeks, especially as Virgo, your ruling planet goes retrograde in August, you may find that there's a lot of clarity opening up about where the relationship can go from here and what it is you truly are willing to give and what's crossing the line. And if you're looking for love, there's a huge opportunity to deepen a bond that may be in existence where you're just getting to know someone through a place of real vulnerability and transparency. Take that risk, Virgo. It does look like it works out at this time. All right. And if you need any support figuring out what's next, both in life or in love, you can find me over at kmoonastro.com. Link to do that is just below this video. Let's have a look at Libra and Libra risings. Libra, this new moon is in a position in the sky that has to do with your work and seeing you elevated into a role with heightened visibility. You may need to ask for it, you may need to advocate for it, but the opportunity for a promotion of some sort is definitely there. There does seem that for some of the Libras out here, there may be a slight challenging romantic dynamic at work where it does look like it's related to potentially a superior or someone who reports to you that may evoke a sense of secrecy. Libra. There also seems like there may be some working through this new moon period to keep yourself from having to deal with certain things at home or family or on the love front as well. Alternatively, this could present as outgrowing a home or a family. We see that with the Ceres fullest combo opposite this new moon in the sector that deals with family. And you may have felt this since January that it's time to give your home either a refresh or a relocation. The main guidance from the stars here is to be yourself in all negotiations and honor who you are in all collaborations. The more you do that, the more situations pertaining to work promotions, love dynamics, or things on the home front seem to fall into place on their own. Libra, where it comes to love specifically, there is some level of transition on this front. It could be something flirtatious, moving into something physical, and a passionate or steamy encounter unfolding. Honestly, It could also come out of nowhere with the ruler of your love sector speaking very loudly and even louder in the coming weeks to Uranus, who brings surprises. Unfortunately, the two of these sit in the secret sector of the sky. And so, if there's anything about this that needs to be kept secret, that doesn't quite feel good to you, there are going to be multiple opportunities to talk about this during the the Mercury retrograde coming up in August. Okay. Now, the other way that this can be interpreted, and for some others of you, this energy can indicate a financial exchange that could impact your future in a significant way. This can include anything like becoming financially invested with your partner, financially committing to a future together, or financially dealing with a change of path for both of you. Ultimately, this movement around finances in your romance sector is meant to empower you over the long term. So even if something challenging arises at this moment, know that it is going to serve you and is for your highest good. Okay? If you need any support understanding what's next, Libra, you can always book a private reading with me. I'm over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. Scorpio and Scorpio rising. This new moon takes place in a position in the sky for you that has to do with taking full advantage of your raw potential, the God stuff that you're made of, and having the faith and belief in yourself that you can do whatever you put your heart into. For some of you, this will mean that yes, you are realizing that to accomplish your goals, you're going to need to invest in higher education of some sort. For others of you, you may be realizing what you've been pursuing, your heart just isn't in. And still, for others of you, this may be where you recognize it's time to write that book, publish your thought leadership, take a stand for that visibility online. There is a new you attempting to come through here and assist you with taking advantage of the life you have now as you continue to embark on this new territory that's opened up in the last 6 months. Whatever your heart is telling you to do at this time, really, Scorpio, do it. No hesitation. I promise it will have big payoffs in the fullness of time. In the love department, Scorpio, there's a beautiful new beginning energy available for those of you who are looking with someone that you may have met either in your travels, who lives at a distance away from you, or whom you may have connected with in an educational setting, with the governor of your love sector sitting here with your new moon in this position in the sky. And you also may have some emergent clarity as Juno is finishing up her retrograde from January in the sector that has to do with your hopes, wishes, and dreams. You may find that there is some clarity about what it is you actually want in love and what it is you just don't. If you're in a committed connection already, this can be a reemergence of a sense of everything that's right with your connection, why you and your person are a perfect fit together. And if you are in a committed connection, you may also have some recognition, if it hasn't been a perfect fit, what needs to happen to either get it to fit together better or to let it go. If if you're in a non-committed relationship and you're looking, like I said, it does seem like there's some opportunities to meet people through some travel or educational settings. What's exciting is that there's an emotional deepening for Scorpios who have some level of connection with another person. And you may feel a real sense that the two of you can accomplish your hopes, wishes, and dreams together with Juno in this position with just a little bit of adjustments and attention to some details. Whether love is just unfolding or love is deepening, it does look like the potential for you to have more of what you want in love is high, as the celestial energy is definitely on Scorpio's side. All right. And if you need any support, understanding how to use this energy to your advantage, especially as we move into the second half of the year, you can book with me over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. Cancer, new moon for Sagittarius, and Sagittarius rising is taking place in a position in the sky that's creating a heightened sense of intuition and empathic connection to others for you. This new moon will tune you into the emotions and feelings of those around you, and in particular, your family. You'll also notice that this new moon contains an important sense of closure and completion for you with some process and relationships that you've outgrown. While new moons do open up new beginnings, this new beginning is in particular focused on your freedom and liberation from either certain family ties or relationship issues that have impacted your ability to have love in a healthy way. Also, there may be some work challenges that have really undermined your capacity to either have a healthy relationship and also have healthy financial relationships, Sag and Sag rising. This new moon marks the beginning of a new chapter where those challenges are, in fact, over. With this new moon, you get a renewed sense of where you are and what you need to do in order to get over the rut it may have felt like you've been in for some time. There's a lot of closure here for you this year, Sagittarius, and it's an important year to let certain dreams die so that others can have the space in the garden of your life to live. Now that we're at the halfway point of the year, you're already well on your way to doing that. So keep going. Sagittarius, where it comes to love, you have a very high possibility of starting a new fling that leads to a long-term thing. As Jupiter is in your opposite sign and the harmony with Saturn connected to this new moon is talking about whatever is new and coming in, having a serious sense of groundedness and commitment. Now, unfortunately, for several of you, it does seem like this may overlap with an existing relationship or situationship, as the sign that governs your love sector can sometimes lend itself to some love triangles, and that's Gemini. If you're uncertain about what to do or where to go, the celestial guidance is talking about communication being key during the upcoming Mercury retrograde cycle in August. The more communication, the better when it comes to clarifying the path forward. This new moon in particular will open up clarity for you when it comes to chemical attraction and may even open heart clarity for you about where you're truly invested and where you're no longer invested, allowing you to know which path is right for you. The heart cannot lie about what it feels. And those of you in a committed connection, there is some renewal opening up here for you too, where it may feel like a creative wind is giving you the chance to make plans to expand your life together. Seems like there's a lot of space here for some private time between the two of you for a heart to heart connection about where you see the future of your relationship going. Okay. Whether it's through travel or learning something new together, there is an energy that speaks to the two of you stepping into a new chapter and talking through the possibilities. Honestly, I really love this for you. Enjoy that. If you need any support, taking the next step or clarifying what the personalized next step is for you, you can always book with me over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. We have Capricorn next. And for those of you who are Capricorn rising or sun, this new moon for you is all about love. Out of all the zodiac signs, you are most likely to find your way into a committed relationship with this new moon. And this new moon seems like and with this new moon, it seems like all of the elements are there. We've got Juno in the house of potential, and she deals with commitment. We also have the Saturn trine from this location. Speaking of grounded communication, that's real and not fantasy. We also have a conjunction to Venus to this new moon in the sector of the sky that specifically deals with love. The only thing that does seem to need a little bit of work might be some of the communication, but that does seem to improve over time, especially as we get into the Mercury retrograde season in August. There does seem to be a lot of ironing out of some of the details coming forward. For those of you in a committed partnership, this new moon seems to be a deepening in your relationship and a chance for some harmony and equilibrium, and to maybe even bring some romance and passion to the forefront amidst the daily grind. Where it comes to work, though, it does look like you're in the middle of closing out a cycle and perhaps easing out of a career or a role that you've outgrown. You may have felt the blahs in your work life with the South Node transiting through that sector of the sky over the course of this year, and even as you closed out last year, that will continue. As you contemplate what's next or how to move forward, it does look like there are some solutions for you among collaborators and supporters, partners from days past or present that would love to support your next endeavor or may even have some advice that could be really insightful at this time. And for those of you who already know what you want and what you'd like to do next, this new moon is talking about it being the perfect time to take on a business partner or project partner that can help you expand through complementing your strengths. If you've been on the search for this person for a while, know that if you allow yourself a little extra time at the end of this cycle, to it's likely that the right person will show themselves. It's even possible that this may be someone you previously considered for the role, but for some reason between now and the end of the upcoming Mercury retrograde in August, you're going to be able to see them in a brand new light through a second or third interview or conversation. Either way, good luck with the new chapter. It does seem like things are off to a fantastic start, Capricorn. Okay. Aquarius, here we are with your lunar update. This new moon for Aquarius and Aquarius rising here may open up a new chapter in your physical health, day-to-day living, or with a boss or someone who reports to you at work. There seems to be a new direction that's instigated by emotional truths that have been ready to surface for some time now when it comes to the way you're living your day-to-day life. But now is the timeline in which you're ready to create some new structure to align with that emotional truth. There could be a call to pay special attention to the mind body connection for some of you, or the links between food and mood as you take your health to the next level. And it will be super important that if you're taking on a new health regime of any kind at this time, if you want it to last, Saturn here in the house of self worth and self esteem, Saturn being bringing the groundedness to the circumstance, it will be necessary that you find a way to make it feel good, that it doesn't feel like a chore, doesn't feel like a punishment, which is common sense, but it's particularly true at this time. There's also a lot of outgrowth, Aquarius, in the sector that deals with your subconscious mind around ways in which you may have participated in your own disempowerment as you've come into this year, and a real recognition at this particular new moon that you're ready to stop doing that. So, congratulations on all of the new growth. Where it comes to love, Aquarius, this new moon is opening up a period of communication with people you're romantically connected to in particular. And for those of you in an established connection who have changes going on that I just mentioned, it seems like there's some level of y'all talking through those changes in day-to-day living together. This new moon talks about taking on some of these changes as a team in a way that can support both of you. So perhaps you guys join a gym together, or make some dietary changes together, or some household living changes together. For those of you who are single, you may meet someone with whom there is real potential for long-term commitment in a group you might be a part of through extended family gatherings. That's that sixth house is some extended family, or through your daily activities at the gym, running errands, or even at work. If there is some form of imbalanced power dynamics that makes mutual feelings inconvenient because one or the other of you works above or below the other, just know that the conversations forthcoming in August around the Mercury retrograde period will help you both clarify what is the best next move. And if you need any support figuring out from the perspective of your chart what's going to really work in the stream of your life, hit me up over at kmoonastro.com. Link is below this video. Pisces and Pisces rising. Beautiful energy here for you that's going to help spark and focus creativity. You may jump into some type of creative new endeavor with this new moon in particular. It has some potential as well to make some of you new mothers or bring a new mother into your life in some capacity, most likely romantic. The fun thing about this new moon for Pisces is that it's going to help you tap into your own inner child and what that little one inside needs in order to feel fully alive. This is also a time when, if you've been trying to get a project off the ground artistically or even entrepreneurially, this moon can have it take off in a way that leads to a lot of success in the fullness of time with Saturn in the position he's in from the beginning of the Piscean chart. It really talks and speaks to tuning out distractions so you can get into the focus mode you need to get into to bring this creative baby to fruition here on Earth. So if you're feeling called to go into a creative cave at this time, Pisces, by all means, ride the wave. The energy will shift in a couple weeks' time, but there seems to be something of great import and inspiration that's ready to come through you. Where it comes to love, Pisces, this new moon is bringing a fresh wind into your life that's allowing you to start a potentially new love connection with the ancient ruler of your love sector being the moon itself. That what may happen here is as a playful start and something quite fun and very unserious could turn into something quite serious relatively quickly. This new love connection may have a lot of ease in the communication department where the two of you just pop off like popcorn when you're together. And if you it may also start with a strong emotional bond and emotional resonance. So it almost feels like you and this other person just fit or things slide into place very easily. If you have kids, you might even meet someone through your activities with your kids, picking them up, dropping them off from camp or school or wherever they happen to go. And it could also quickly blossom into something new. Now, for those of you who are already in an established connection, this new moon will allow you to close out a period of intense review that may have been underway since the beginning of the year about where things are going between the two of you, what's next, and what you'd like to change about the connection so that you both feel like you're getting your needs met and there's more room for fun between the two of you. There's a sense that some of the dreams between the two of you may need to evolve this year for the health of the relationship. Things that were accomplished, and you can check them off your list. Things that never got accomplished, but the two of you need to put them down so that you can focus on other things that have become more important. This fullest series closure in the opposite sign in the sector that specifically deals with hopes, wishes, and dreams is really courting you in already committed connections to take a look, Pisces. Where is it that you've outgrown a dream? And where can you weed that out of your garden so that there's room for new and fresh dreams to be planted? Okay. If this is the case that there are certain dreams that are dying at this time, know that just because certain dreams have been outgrown, it doesn't always mean that the relationship is done. This new moon is the perfect time to dream new dreams together. All right. Thank you to all the signs who listened. If you happen to listen all the way to the end, I love it. Definitely check out First Look in the Lightworker Energy Update video that was published just about 48 hours ago so that you can see how this energy moves into the Capricorn full moon by July 21st, and you can be ahead of the game when it comes to what happens next. And if you need a reading, you can always find me at kmoonastro.com. I would love to read for you in the month of July. Take great care and bye for now.